Hey guys, VTech here, Blueberry Hills. So here's April 26th. We're going to start caulking the outside of the windows. There's weather coming in. I'm just trying to make it so it's actually more weatherproof. Most of the windows are actually holding pretty good. There's a couple of small leaks because there's areas where the frames were being mounted to the windows were being mounted to the frames, and that didn't get a whole lot of foam insulation on it. If you watch our prior videos, you know I spray foamed around the entire window. About an inch and a half, probably inch and a half of foam, and of course some of it squirts out. So the first part in caulking the windows is cutting all that extra junk off on the outside of the windows and making a nice reveal so the caulking can get in there. I initially started using just a normal conventional consumer grade caulking solution from Home Depot, a DAP caulking product, black. It doesn't say how much silicone is in it or anything, but it says it's 30-year warranty, blah blah blah. Here you see me actually cutting the foam off and stuff. But more about the caulking. I've been watching a whole bunch of commercial installs because I'm more interested in doing a real solid installation, so I don't have to do this every couple of years and redo any kind of caulking. And they use sausage guns, and they actually have a nice process. A very large opening, and they put quite a bit of caulk on the windows, and that's because most of their gaps on the commercial buildings, especially aluminum windows like we're using, have up to quarter-inch to, they even said up to an inch wide gap. We don't have any of that, but we do have a quarter-inch reveal pretty much around every window, and I did that on purpose so we could actually get the caulking in there. The caulking does not go just in the hole, it actually goes on the outside of the window and to the frame. So I'll show you guys that later. Here you see me, I got the tractor. I never feel good on this ladder. It doesn't have really sticky upper feet to go against the zip sheeting, and that kind of slides a little bit. So I tied the ladder to the tractor's forklift pieces, and that makes me feel a lot better, and it doesn't go anywhere. And of course I'm using a couple other smaller ladders so I can get up to lower areas. The caulking out here it's a pain in the butt, right? Because you have to go up and down, and kind of move along. So hopefully once I get the commercial grade caulking, it was ordered. It showed up on the 30th. This is the 26th, and I'm doing this video on the I guess it's May 3rd or 4th. Anyway, we're skipping a little bit just because of our timeline here. So I continue with the consumer grade caulking just for this last window, and then I quit. I'm gonna wait for the commercial product to arrive. I'm doing this video on May 3rd. The product showed up a couple days ago. I haven't touched it yet. So here's a shot of the garage window. It's installed. You can see gaps there. I didn't put spray foam in there yet, but I'm going to do a quick walk around from the outside just to show you guys what the building looks like now. This is not sped up. This is real time. Just walk, handheld GoPro. So the windows are made the whole thing look, like a kind of a house now. It feels really good inside. Feels kind of cool on the outside, and it's starting to come together. We've got a lot of work to do, of course. These windows are pretty much caulked. On the other side of the house, they're not. But this just shows you the kind of current state of everything. At the moment, let's see, these windows in the corner here, I didn't get a chance to spray foam them yet. That happens a few days later, actually a few days earlier after this making the video, but regardless, hopping around. We're gonna take a small break from doing windows because weather's rolling in. I was trying to hurry up before a big storm came in, and the house actually fared pretty good. The windows leaked a tiny bit, especially right here where we just had the spray foam. And some of the spray foam didn't, get where the mounts of the window to the frame are. So we had a couple of drips here and there, but nothing major, of course. The caulking will fix all that and be 100% weatherproof. So after you see this, quite a few windows. It actually, hey, there's whiskey in the window. Anyway, we still have one big window to put above this 4x6 window where you see text there on the right. And the door is going to go somewhere here beside the pantry, but the doors are all later. Nothing's happening with doors at the moment. Anyway, so that was a quick walkabout. And then we're going to get ready for slightly different stuff here. I'm going to yeah, I guess I'm showing you the last few squirts of. This is the upper windows in the living room that I'm filling in with the spray foam. This is I guess a closer shot I was trying to show you. It works. This pro stuff works really good. I don't know if I mentioned earlier, we did order our spray foam machine, so that's it's being built. It's going to take another probably 6-7 weeks to get it, and that's the spray foam machine we're going to use to actually foam the entire house, and probably make a few dollars with it spray foaming other people's houses and garages and stuff. But regardless, it's a machine that's going to do it's a low pressure style of spray foaming. So here I'm trying to finish up the last masking. The weather's rolling in. It's actually drizzled right around this time point, and I'm trying to rush it. It's works pretty fast. The liquid mask is fantastic stuff. It sticks to frickin' everything. It's some kind of a poly something and a urethane kind of blah. So it is what it is. Anyway, it works great. Smoothens out fantastic. Goes into all the crevices. And here I'm doing the living room windows, and I beat the weather, which was fantastic. So all this held pretty nicely. We didn't have any issues with the windows here at all. So yay for that. Anyway, finish this up, and then we're going to switch over to floor grinding. The weather was bad enough where there's no point in working on the outside of the building or anything on the inside. The water was the windows I didn't finish were getting wet, so I couldn't do any kind of foaming because the frames were a little bit moist. So I held off, and then we went and rented. I'll talk about that in a minute, but we rented kind of a pro small grinder and a big vac, and we just ground all the floors in the house, which we needed to do anyway. So this is a perfect time to do that. So here, the video prior to this had all the floor grinding in it, and now we're catching back up. This is 5/3. We did grinding for 2-3 days last week, so that was a lot of work. We finished that up, and here I am doing the final little bits. We have to wash the floor, and I'm doing a little cleanup. Of course, the big grinding machine couldn't get into under the stairs or anything, right? So I'm using my hand diamond grinder, which I use for countertops and stuff, to finish up the little areas. I did this first dry, which is a kind of I'll call it a mistake. Later on, we went to, since we have to wash the floor anyway and wet back it. That's what I should have done here. I do it a little bit more here later, but anyway, wet is good because it's not as dusty. Of course, it's a lot cleaner. And this vac, so I have two of these vacs, rigid vacs. This one doesn't work worth a crap. So we switch over to a different one, and that one worked pretty good. So in preparation for the next little bit, so the floors are all ground. We vacuumed as best we could with the commercial version vacuum. Worked great. However, it doesn't get everything totally off, so you have to wash. And you can see the slurry right there, the gray. So it's kind of not normal to actually wash the inside of your house out, right? Yeah, you can do it in container houses. Go figure. We don't have any walls up yet, so this was perfect timing for this. We're getting ready to put a Ameripolish 3D HS hardener densifier on the concrete, and that'll help from some stain prevention and junk like that, but it'll actually make the concrete harder and ready for acid stain. I am not doing dyes anymore. You'll see that in future videos. We're far away from doing the dye or the acid wash. The dye scared me from how the shop went. The color just did not go into the concrete, and everybody claims that every bit of concrete is different, so you have to test it, and then it does what it does. I'm like, okay, great. Anyway, I just wanted a solution. I didn't need any fancy schmancy expletives there. Anyway, here you see me doing some minor correction where the big floor grinder didn't get to a couple of spots. No big deal. The grinder I'm using, I don't even know what grit it is, but it's a very aggressive diamond wheel, and it does a really nice job as long as you don't press hard. So I'm just doing this is wet. Obviously, it's a lot better than dusty, and as long as I have water in there, it keeps everything nice in check. And it did a really good job for those little areas that I need to get to. There we go. So Angie showed up a little bit, so she helped me vacuum up the slurry. You can see the gray right there. So we're just hosing everything into kind of a corner. The floor is mostly flat, right? So we just try to shove it all in the corner, and then Angie tries to suck it up with the shop vac. I didn't have the proper attachment. That's a dust attachment, but I can't find the one for the water, but it is what it is. Anyway, it worked pretty good. Took us a few hours, and did a pretty good job. The floor looks really good. Pretty happy with the result. And then we gotta wait for it to dry, and then we can put the densifier hardener on it. So here's our master bedroom. This one we just kind of tried to put all the water to the back side, and then Angie was standing there for half an hour sucking it up. And I did a couple little touches here and there with the grinder as well. This area was since I shoved all the water into one corner, it took us a little while longer. But luckily the window's open really good, so you can dump the water out when the vac gets full. It's supposed to hold 4 gallons. Yeah, if it got 2 or 3 in there, I was very surprised. And I'm looking at the spray foam on the frame right there, in case you're wondering what I was doing there. Anyway, once we start the caulking, once the weather clears up, I can start finishing up the windows from the outside, and we'll call that good. And then we'll work on the second floor windows in a little bit. So here we're on the second floor. We'll just do this real quick. Probably took us, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes on this one. It's probably about 6:30, almost 7 o'clock, I guess, on the third. We're going to finish this up and then take a small break. Actually have a beer, and then hit the living room floor and the kitchen next, and then we'll be done. Then we're going to wait for the densifier, to dry before we put the densifier and the hardener on. We'll go check it out. We got more weather coming in the next few days, so we'll see how this all goes. Since we can work on the inside, shouldn't be a problem. The densifier, it just soaks in and does some kind of a silicone based process, and it somehow exchanges with the hydrogen atoms, blah blah blah, in the floor, and it changes the chemical compound of the upper layer of the concrete. So should be cool. The reason also for the harder densifier is they actually use it for the staining to be more consistent as well. We're gonna have kind of like we're gonna call it Malayan tan is the color we're gonna go with the acid wash, and it's kind of a leathery look, a little on the lighter side, but it's a rich tone, brown to a little bit of yellowish tone. We've always liked it, so that's what we're going with, and it's a little lighter than our prior house had on the floors, but we're looking forward to it because it's going to be through the entire house, unlike our prior location. So we're almost done. Angie's still doing the vacuuming. I'm trying to get everything into the corner in the living room. We'll move the scaffold after this, and then I take care of any small tidbits like around the post there and small imperfections in the floor right behind me there. No big deal. This is just stuff that the big grinder I missed, because there's so much dust on the floor when you're doing the grinding. It's hard to tell if there's funky spots or not. So I'm just trying to be consistent with the floor, make sure all the little patches are done properly. Anyway, we'll be close to done. Our dogs are doing the inspection, making sure we're doing the right job, and we keep going. So this is another couple minutes here, and we'll be good to go. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. We definitely appreciate all the support we're getting from family and friends. This is an interesting project. Of course, it's larger than not. Again, this is 11 containers, so we bit off a lot. 11 plus building the actual living room outright, 15 by 40 added to that. But regardless, it's a big venture. We're kind of having fun. I like doing stuff that doesn't require me to do it 50 times over. So, like putting windows in, that's kind of a tedious process. But hey, it's rewarding because when you see it and it's done, it's cool. Anyway, appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next video. The next video is going to be probably me cutting holes in the second floor and densifying the floor. Anyway, thanks a lot. Talk at you later. Ciao.